Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. The Hearthstone Fractured in Alterac Valley, the Onyxia Lair miniset reveal season is progressing. The miniset is only a few days away. This is the third day of the reveal season and we got another 7 new cards from the miniset today. And by my calculations that means that only 2 cards are missing. We're missing a Mage Legendary and a Neutral Legendary. Will be interesting to see what those are going to be. They could even both be Onyxia, you know. Katrina Prester, Mage Legendary, and Onyxia, Neutral Legendary, who knows. But anyway, in this video I'm going to take a look at the 7 cards we got today and try to evaluate how good are they. First of all, we got a new Priest Legendary card, Mida, Pure Light. 6 mana 4/6 with Divine Shield, Lifesteal, and a Death Rattle. Shuffle a fragment into your deck that resummons Mida when drawn. So there's no taunt in this one, but Divine Shield and Lifesteal means that if the priest is not immediately dying, then this is going to be healing that priest right up. And then when you kill it, at some point it's just going to resummon itself. And then it's going to die, and then it's going to resummon itself, and then the priest is going to play Serella the Devout, and then the priest is going to shuffle a whole bunch of those fragments into their deck. And then there's going to be Midas all over the place, so looks like a pretty powerful card. The shard is a holy spell, by the way, so you can tutor for it. For example, Spirit Guide, that will draw a holy spell and a shadow spell. Various other tools that you have that tutor for spells in your deck, yeah, you can do that. Death Rattle Priest, Quest Priest, yeah, that card looks strong. And that is not even all that Priest is getting. Priest is also getting the Horn of Rathion, a 3-cost spell. Draw a minion. If it's a dragon, summon 2/2/1 whelps with Rush. Yeah, 3 mana for 2/2/1 whelps with Rush, so you can do 4 damage worth of removal on the board. And all you need to do is have some dragons in your deck. Only dragons, probably. So that Kazakusan Priest, you know, with skeletal dragons or more mid-range dragon priest, this gives priest quite a bit of tempo. That's one scary card. I think priest is looking like one of the big winners of the mini set. And that's a little scary, because all the metas where slow priest decks have been good have been quite scary metas. But we'll see how it's all going to work out. Druid is also getting a really interesting card, Scale of Onyxia, a 7-cost spell. Okay, that's pretty expensive. Fill your board with 2/1 whelps with Rush. So if your board is empty, this summons 7 2/1 whelps with Rush, so that's 14 damage to minions on the other side. So I can already think of multiple uses for this card, like Druid generally lacks hard removal, especially in standard format. So Scale of Onyxia as your removal piece in your otherwise normal Druid deck, alright? Or maybe you can build that sort of spell, Token Druid again. Glowfly Swarm and Fungal Fortunes are still in standard at the moment. So for the mini-set meta, Glowfly Swarms, Scales of Onyxia, Arbor Ups, Fungal Fortunes for card draw, that sort of opportunities open up. Really interesting card for Druid that can be used in multiple different archetypes and for different purposes. Then we get some more big spellmate support with Drakefire Amulet, a 10-cost tradable spell. Discover 2 dragons and summon them. Okay, so that puts some stats on the board. Most dragons are pretty big, and when you get to discover a dragon, that means that you can skip like Bright Wings and go for the runaway Black Wings or stuff. But there are some problems with this card, because the effects of most of the big dragons right now are Battlecry based, and this is going to summon the dragon so you don't get the Battlecry effect. Runaway Blackwing is probably the best card you can summon with this one, because it has an immediate effect on the board, but then you get stuff like Zero the Dreamer, and it's a 4/12 body, okay, but you don't get the battle cry, so is that good enough? As an upside, it is tradable, so you can just keep throwing it back into your deck until you can play it. Also, you could play the Mage card that plays stuff from your deck, so you can then shuffle this back and have it played, but I'm really not sure if this is enough. Like, hey, I can put like 18 mana worth of minions on the board for 10 mana. Yeah, so what? Mana cheating is a thing. Other decks can put that on much earlier, and I just don't see that this would be a big deal, but we'll have to see how the Dragon Pool is going to evolve in this next rotation. Paladin is getting a new buff spell, and this is not the buff spell you want to replace Librams. Ring of Courage, 2 mana, tradable, okay, tradable, nice, you can get rid of that, you can draw some other stuff. Give a minion +1/+1, repeat for each enemy minion. So your opponent has to have some stuff on the board for this to even be worth its mana cost, and then where do you put it? Right now, in the current meta, well, you could theoretically put it on Devout Pupil. Devout Pupil is rotating out of standard format though, really soon. So you can't really hide behind the Taunt minion in the near future, and Librams are just better, so I don't see where pre-rotation Paladin would use this card, and post-rotation it's too difficult to evaluate right now, but it just doesn't look that strong. Then we have a new rogue spell, and a new rogue spell that can go face. 3 mana, Tooth of Nefarian. Deal 3 damage, honorable kill discovery spell from another class. So Blizzard has learned that when rogue has spells that can go face, you better make them expensive. 3 mana for 3 damage, that's not great, but then again, Blackwater Cutlass is still in the game, and it's going to be staying here. Tradable after you trade this, reduce the cost of a spell in your hand by 1. There are definitely going to be ways to use this as an additional damage in order to build some kind of an OTK rogue deck. Blizzard also trying to encourage you to use this on minions, because this has an honorable kill effect, discover a spell from another class, right? So in a pinch you could just try to discover something to save yourself with this one. But whenever rogue gets a spell that can go face, then it will go face in some decks, so yeah, I'm expecting to see this one face. And finally, a new neutral taunt minion, Gear Grubber. 4 mana 4/5 taunt. If you end your turn with any unspent mana, reduce this card's cost by 1. Alright, we have had this mechanic before. The old Druid quest was built around this untapped potential. Quest end 4 turns with any unspent mana. And untapped potential worked because the payoff was really, really big. The payoff was that your choose 1 cards had all of their effects, so boom boom, you could just do crazy, crazy stuff after you complete the quest. And Gear Grubber, well, it doesn't really do that crazy things. And spending your mana, that's one of the most important things in Hearthstone. You want to play for tempo. Sure, if you can get this discounted a couple of times, you could use this with something like Oracle of Elune. If you play a minion that costs 2 or less, summon a copy of it. But it's difficult to see what deck would want to leave mana unspent, given how important tempo is. And right now I think that the payoff from this card is not sufficient, but I mean any card that can discount itself to 0 is always dangerous. This one will require some playtesting to know for sure. So those were all the card reveals today, only 2 cards left to come. So far Priest looks like the big winner. Priest is getting some really excellent tools. Rogue is getting some good stuff as well. Rogue is another winner of the mini set. But it also looks like some of the mini set has been designed with the post-rotation meta in mind. And I talked about this in my previous video, and actually in between these 2 videos, this got confirmed by the developers. They actually said that some of these cards have been designed for future metas and not for this one. And that's exactly what it has been looking like. So the full value of Onyxia's Lair mini set is probably only going to be revealed in April after the rotation, but right now it just might bring Priest back into the game already. Scary times. There are 2 more cards left to be revealed, and once they're out, I'm going to review them as well. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.